Good afternoon, students. Welcome back to your geography class. Yesterday we were discussing about the geographical features and we started with the topic river and meanders. And today we are going to discuss about tributaries, distributaries, delta, fold mountain, anticline and syncline, and the block mountains. So these are the topics which we are going to study for the geographical features on a map. Geographical features also refers to the features that is present around us, okay, that is present on the earth. Now what is tributary? Tributaries are small streams or small rivers which join or which flows to a larger river. Okay, the small streams and small rivers which joins a larger river, they are called tributaries. The next topic is distributaries. Distributaries are actually channels. Those channels which are created naturally so that when the volume of water increases, they can easily flow to the sea. Now why does the volume increases? The volume increases because of the tributaries. What happens when many of the tributaries join a larger river, that time the amount of water increases. Now when the amount of water increases, it is natural that the water will increase and there will be more pressure, more current. Okay, now when the current is more, there comes the difficulty, there comes a barrier. How is the water going to flow all of a sudden into the sea? So that way, when the pressure is more, we can see the channels made by the river itself so that the water can easily flow into the sea. Even if you fill a water bottle, or if you fill a bucket, you can see when the water is filled, the water spills out from everywhere. Why is that? Because the water is increasing. Okay, and it makes its own way. Okay, when it makes its own way, those channels when created, those are known as distributaries. They distribute the water in different channels. Okay, so that is called distributaries. Distributaries are actually the channels from where the river water flows into the sea. Now, coming to delta. Delta is actually the land. Delta is actually the land portion which is present in between the distributaries. Delta and distributaries can be seen at the mouth of the river. Where is the mouth of the river present? The mouth of the river is present at the place where the river meets the sea or oceans. Now, delta, how is delta created? Delta is created by the silt carried by the river. What is silt again? Silt is actually the fertile soil which is flowing with the river water. Now, when it gets collected, it forms a land portion. Silt is a fertile soil, and that soil which is found near the mouth of the river, that is called delta. Delta is the land portion present in between the distributaries. Okay. The next topic is fold mountain. What is fold mountain? Let's understand how a mountain is formed. A mountain is formed with the collision of the lithospheric plates. Now, what are lithospheric plates? Earth, the inside of the earth is the core. Now when we have the core, we have the crust. What is the crust? Crust is made up of rocks. Okay, crust, we have the lower crust, upper crust, and then we have the surface of the earth on which people live. Deep inside the ground, we have the core, which is the last point. Then we have the lower crust, the upper crust, and the surface. Surface is the place where people build their houses and where people live. Deep inside we have the core, the crust. Crust is divided into two parts, that is the upper crust and the lower crust. Now what happens? These lithospheric plates which is present inside the earth, these plates keep on rotating. Now at times what happens, when these plates collide with each other, they form mountains. It is observed that when collision is seen, the land gets lifted up, and that uplifted land is called a mountain. So that time what happens, we can see lifted land as well as the subsided land. Okay, now the lifted land is called as anticline, and the down portion of the land is called the syncline. Okay, I'll be sending you the picture of anticline and syncline, so you can read and understand what is anticline and syncline, how does mountain form, and what is the process. You will easily come to know that what is and how is the mountains formed, and what is anticline and what is syncline. Then we have block mountains. Block mountains are formed when the lithospheric plates crack. Now we observe, if you have observed earthquake, in some videos, if you have gone through the videos of earthquake, they will show you that the earth cracks up. Now same things happened deep inside the earth also. When the crust of the earth cracks or faults are made, that time what happens, the land gets lifted up. The land gets lifted. So now when the land gets lifted, that time a block mountain is formed. Okay, that time a block mountain is formed, and the lowered land is called the valley, the rift valley. The valleys are formed. A valley is always formed between the mountains. It can be seen between the mountains. Okay, how is a block mountain formed? Block mountains are formed when a piece of land rises up horizontally. Okay, that is called a block mountain. What is a valley? The portion of land which is in between the two mountains. Okay, how are block mountains formed? Block mountains are formed because of the cracks. When the lithospheric plate moves and away from each other, the cracks or faults occur. When they part from each other, that time the land gets lifted up and a block mountain is formed. Okay, so we have nearly finished all the topics. I'll be giving out the question answers. Please go through the question answers, read and learn whatever is taught to you all. Thank you. Have a nice day.